A very warm welcome to the program. Thank you for joining us on this edition of K24 Inside Business, the last word in business. My name is Sarah Adam. Later in the hour, we'll have a discussion that will focus on the insurance industry and basically how the penetration is going to increase from the current 3%. That will be later in the hour. But for now, let's take a look at what is making headlines in the world of business. And we begin with CES suspends Airtel Telecom merger, fertilizer docks at Port of Mombasa, RBA targets non-compliant employers. Now to our top business story of the day, the inception of the Lower Kuja Irrigation Scheme project in Migori County has so far been taken off. Now this particular bumper harvest that is set to increase food production in the semi-arid parts of Nyatike within the county. The project, which is initially targeting 84,000 acres of land because of its potential, at the moment only covers 19,000 acres, with plans underway to expand this to ensure the region has full potential of food production.
Farmers who ventured into rice production in Nyatike, Migori County are said to have enjoyed a bumper harvest estimated to be worth over 140 million shillings from their first harvest, and are expecting more in their second harvest, which has happened within a span of 3 months. According to the project manager, Neslin Akoth, the project has the capacity to cover the projected areas with the construction of an upstream dam. Neslin further says the project is underway with the National Irrigations Board, NIB, expected to expand to include other horticultural crops.
The project has appeared in the National Water Master Plan of 1992. The project actually the area has a potential of 84,000 acres.
This being the pilot phase of the project, which was put under rice cultivation, has proven that the semi-arid region can be put to good use. Despite the positive results from the yields, Neslin says that farmers and locals have not yet had an opportunity to have a taste of their produce. Plans are now underway to establish a processing plant within Sagama in Nyatike to enable farmers to do value addition to their rice, an initiative which she believes will increase the profit margins and reduce reliance on Kisumu-based rice millers where the first harvest was taken to. On the other hand, farmers have come up with ways of minimizing loss by developing their own rice species, as explained by Ouma Silas.
Kutengeneza tu hapa mbegu ndio tupande. Sasa kuna haja ya kuenda aero kwa sababu ni transport.
Jimmy Mbogo, K24 Inside Business.
Now from Jimmy Mbogo's story, our reporter Fred Kai earlier spoke to the chairman of Communications Authority Board Ngene Gituku about the ongoing wrangles and also the merger between Telcom Kenya and Airtel. Let's listen in.
Na ni kwamba kulikuwa na utata pale awali kuweza kuona kwamba CA ilikuwa imeweza kusema kwamba uanguzi wa muda wake wa kukaa katika board ulikuwa umeweza kuisha, na kwamba ilikuwa inahitajika kwamba aweze kuacha ofisi na bwana director kati.
We apologize for that. But we're going to take the particular story where Kai got an opportunity to speak to Ngene Gituku about the ongoing wrangles, and also keeping in mind that Telcom Kenya and Airtel merger have been stopped for a while. Now let's listen in.
katika kongamano hili la 58 katika hoteli hii ya Westlands, ambapo tumeweza kuona kwamba CA basi walikuwa hapa na kuweza kujadiliana mambo kadha wa kadha. Lakini ile jambo ambalo limeweza kutokezea wazi ni kwamba kuna utata ya kati ya ni nani basi ataweza kuchukua ule usukani baada ya Wangusi muda wake kuweza kuisha. Lakini kwa sasa tumeweza kuona kwamba aliweza kufikisha kesi hiyo mahakamani, na kwa sasa basi kuna utata. Na kuweza kujadili hayo fika, tunaweza kujiunga na chairman wa board ili aweze kutuambia tufika ni yapi anajiri na ni vipi haswa utata huu basi utaweza kwenda kutatulika. Na moja kwa moja basi kama tutaweza kuungana naye, pengine tuanze na majina na utuambie tufika kwa sasa mambo yakoje.
Mimi naitwa K24. Mimi ndiye mwenyekiti wa bodi ya Communications Authority ya Maziriano.
Naam, tueleze tu mambo na mambo ya court ambayo tumeweza kuona kwamba Wangusi tamu yake imeweza kufika mwishoni, lakini sasa kuna huu utata. Je, huu utata utaweza kuisha vipi?
Hata sijui hii mambo inatoka wapi, kwa sababu koti imesema, na ilikuwa imesema hata wakati ile ingine tulikuwa kotini, inaongea maneno kuhusu recruitment ya yule atakuwa CEO wa CA. Haongei maneno ya yule wakati yake imekwisha. Yule mwingine Bwana Wangusi amekuwa akiwa CEO, mkurugenzi mkuu, kwa miaka 8. Na hiyo ndio maximum ile ile contract yake ilikuwa ilisema akae miaka 4, alafu akiperform mzuri apewe ingine 4, na akaperform mzuri tukampatia ingine 4, akamaliza miaka 8. Kutoka hapo yeye wakati wake ukakwisha, na tunatayarisha benefits zake zote apewe. Hata akipata wakati tutaweza kumuitia pate ya kumwambia kwa heri. Alafu kutoka hapo SCAC ambaye ni ile body inahusika maneno kama haya ya kutafuta yule atachukua hiyo kiti, imetuambia kwa sababu hatuna board, wao wenyewe wakatupatia advice tutafute mmoja ambaye atasimamia. Wakatuandikia barua, na barua iko, akatuambia ni sawa kupatia hiyo kazi kwa Mase Wajau. Kwa hivyo sijui kwa nini media inasema ati ameambiwa aendelee na kazi. Huwezi ukiwa ni contract, mkiwa na contract ya watu wawili na mmetimiza hiyo contract, sioni kwa nini mtu mwingine anataka kusema ati yule alimaliza contract aweza kuendelea. Haiwezekani. Na kama tunavyoongea sasa, umeona Mase hapa, the acting director general, na ataendelea kuwa acting director general mpaka tuwe na body, na hiyo body itatatua hiyo maneno.
Kwa hivyo ni sahihi sasa kuweza kumuita Mase kama acting director general?
Kabisa, hakuna wasiwasi. Ndiye director general, na nauliza watu wa media wa report mzuri. Attorney general mwenyewe amesema mambo ile ya status quo inahusu kuleta appointment mpya ya director general, lakini maneno ya yule wakati yake imekwisha, na huwezi kurudi nyuma, kwa sababu atalipwa na nini? Atalipwa na nani? Na contract inakwisha 21st August. Kutoka siku hiyo atalipwa mpaka tarehe hiyo. Haiwezekani. Iko contract imesainiwa, hata koti zinajua hivyo. Kwa hivyo hiyo maneno imekwisha.
Na kuna huu mtafaruku ambao mmeweza kuna kwamba CA imeweza kususpend the merger kati ya Airtel na Telcom. Pengine ni kwa nini na itachukua muda gani?
Unajua hiyo sisi tulikuwa tumemaliza kazi yetu na tukapatia okay, lakini EACC, Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, iko na maswali inataka kuuliza. Sisi hatujui ni maswali gani. Kwa hivyo wakasema nyinyi suspend hiyo license mpaka tujue nini kinafanyika katikati yao na wale wengine. Lakini sisi hatuko hapo. Sisi lazima tufuate sheria. EACC ikisema wacheni kupatia hiyo authority kuendelea, tutafanya hivyo. Lakini sisi tulikuwa tumemaliza pande yetu, lakini wametuambia bado tusimamishe, na tumesimamisha.
Shukrani sana kwa muda wako. Naam, tumeweza kusikia kutoka kwa chairman wa bodi hii ya CA kuweza kuna kwamba wao basi hawana shida kuhusu merger ile ya Telco na Airtel, lakini EACC basi waliweza kuwatumia barua kuona kwamba wasitishe zoezi hili ili kuona kwamba basi zoezi hili mpaka uchunguzi utakapokamilika na kuweza kuwapatia go ahead. Kutoka hapa na kuregesha kwako studio.
Thank you very much, Kai. We'll have a comprehensive update concerning the Telkom-Airtel merger. But before then, we have an interview that you have earlier promised about insurance sector. And also, we'll be looking at the penetration of this particular sector, how we're going to increase this particular sector. Now, Heritage Insurance Kenya has launched the first ever mass market telematics insurance solution. Telematics is a branch of information technology that deals with the transmission of computerized information over long distance. This technology uses mobile-like connectivity to enable robust, accurate driver journey scoring that rewards and encourages positive driving, safe behavior, streamlining the sector's claims processing issues whilst providing reduced insurance costs for drivers through premium minimum cashbacks. Joining us to discuss this is Godfrey Kioi, MD for Heritage Insurance. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
and thank you very much for joining us this particular afternoon. And if you can tell us, what is telematic technology and how does it work?
I think we just alluded to it. Telematics is a branch of transmitting data. It's a branch of science that transmits data over distance. So what we did is to say that capability already exists. We already have insurance products. We have cars. How can we put the two together? And the thing that we are trying to get is how can we influence driver behavior so that we can get safer roads, but also we can get reduced insurance claims, which is been a pain point for the insurance industry.
All right. And how will this help, especially when it comes to the penetration? Because the penetration of insurance in the country as it stands is at 3%. So how will this particular technology help in terms of even people acquiring premiums?
I think the discussion about the penetration or the coverage of insurance policies is a much bigger discussion. But I think on the one hand, we've been accused of not being innovative. We've been accused of not using technology. So I think the launch of this product is a step in that direction where we begin to look at what is happening in the world, how the consumer wants to consume insurance, and basically being able to provide something that is in the data field, because data is going to be the new oil. And the way this product is consumed and the information it gives back to the customer, I think begins to embrace how the modern customer wants to be engaged by any service provider, and insurance companies is just one of those.
And how will you ensure that consumers' data is safe? Because now there's whenever we put anything out there, consumers are normally afraid of their data being exposed to everybody. So how are you going to ensure that you protect the consumers' data?
I think that's a real concern, and it's something that we, in coming up with this product, we needed to ensure that we know what the law says, and the fact that even for our manual data that we receive today in whatever form, we also have undertaken not to share that with anyone, and we are bound by our data confidentiality regulations. We are bound by our governance regulation as to who we can share data with and who we cannot share data with. We have also positioned this upfront with the customer, what the data will be used for. And in this particular case, their driving data can only be used for processing the insurance claims.
And how will it help in terms of actually getting the claims? Will it be faster for somebody to come and claim?
Yes, one of the promises that we are making is that we'll be able to process claims much faster, more accurately, because the information that the device shares with us is able to show us when there's an incident. One of the things that we have also done is to promise to call you when you have that incident, and then to begin to process your claim as that incident happens. So maybe after that you are going to the police or you go to the hospital, with all due respect. But in the meantime, your insurer, Heritage, knows that you had an incident, they have gotten in touch with you, and they are starting to process claims. In case there are issues, the data will also be able to tell us how the incident happened, and I think that will be able to collaborate the facts that the motorist has given to be able to process that much faster than we are able to do today.
All right, thank you very much, Godfrey Kioi. He's been speaking about telematics insurance and how it's going to actually help in increasing penetration and make it easy for somebody to claim any of their to claim their money or whatever they put in the insurance sector. And moving on, The Retirement Benefits Authority has targeted 120 employers in the country for failing to remit monies deducted from employees' salaries to their relevant pension benefit schemes. According to the Retirement Benefits Authority Chief Executive Officer Nzomo Mutuku, employers who delay remitting audited reports to the regulator 3 months after the close of a fiscal year will face a 100,000 fine. Linda Koskei tells us more.
The Retirement Benefits Authority (RBA) has embarked on a crackdown to unmask entities that have not been remitting funds deducted from their employees. RBA Chief Executive Officer Nzomo Mutuku said letters have been issued to non-compliant institutions, whereby RBA is required to issue 3 letters. So far, 2 letters have been issued, which leaves the entity with 1 chance to respond, failure to which penalties will be imposed. Employers who delay to remit audited reports to the regulator 3 months after the close of fiscal year face 100,000 fine and a further 1,000 for each day of delay. Mutuku, however, says the pension scheme industry is stable in relation to risks that firms can be faced with. In an implementation of risk-based supervision, the overall scheme's risk score is 2.5 on the basis of remittance of benefits, governance, administrative expenses and investments, among others. RBA issued guidelines to the retirement benefit schemes and are levels between 1, representing a scheme which is well-run and all financial and non-financial indicators are within an acceptable range. The sector has so far registered 1.2 trillion shillings in assets under management despite high liquidity. This is out of 1,258 schemes and 24 fund managers. Linda Koskei, K24, Inside Business.
Now, with that story, let's take a look at how the shilling is performing against other major currencies and also how the shares are performing at the Nairobi Securities Exchange. Now, we begin with the shilling. We begin with the dollar, which is currently trading, buying at 103.34 cents and selling at 103.54 cents. Now, we continue with the pound. The pound, which is at 126 shillings and 93 cents and selling at 127 shillings and 21 cents. And also we look at the euro, is at 114.76 cents and selling at 115 shillings. And we have the yen at 6 shillings and 74 cents and selling at 6 shillings and 75 cents. And the Tanzanian shilling is at 33 shillings and 57 cents buying and selling at 33 shillings and 74 cents. And we go to the Ugandan shillings, which is currently trading, buying at 22 shillings and 15 cents rather, and selling at 22 shillings and 29 cents. And that is what we have in our forex, our money markets. Now we go to the top gainers of the day. These are shares at the Nairobi Securities Exchange. We also want to know how these particular shares are performing. Now we have Kenya Re at the price is at 3 shillings and 9, while the percentage change is at 6.19%. KQ is at 2 shillings and 66, and also the percentage change is at 5.14%. HF Group is at 3.79 selling, and also the percentage change for this particular share is at 3.84%. That's the increment. Now let's look at the top losers of the day. We have Umeme Limited at 7 shillings and 30 cents. Percentage change for this particular share is at negative 6.17. And we go to CIC Insurance Company, that is at 3 shillings and 19 cents. And its percentage change for this particular insurance, that is the share, it's at negative 5.90 cents. And we have Home Africa lastly at 53 cents. And the percentage change for this particular insurance is at negative 5.36%. These are the shares for today. and we have been able to look at the top losers, top gainers at the Nairobi Securities Exchange. And we've been able to know how these particular shares are. So if you're willing to trade, you can know how your shares are performing at the Nairobi Securities Exchange. And that is how we wrap up Inside Business, the last word in business. My name is Sarah Adam. Up next is Newscut.